Well, good Monday morning. It's 22nd of March today, and today is day 34 of my video game and marijuana quit. Went to bed at 9 o'clock last night. We stayed up and watched. We got Indian food. We had stimmy weekend, we called it. So we got Five Guys, I think, on Friday because we were too lazy to cook, or we ran out of meals, and then maybe that was Saturday. Sorry, I think it was Saturday. And then last night we didn't have anything left to eat in the fridge after we'd done all our prepared meals. We normally do those during the week, so we got Indian food, and normally don't have much of an issue with it, but for some reason, I guess I've probably eaten a lot during the day. My hunger's been up as the working out has gotten up, and the running around has gotten up, so I've had to eat to kind of keep up with it. And we watched the last Blockbuster movie, which if you haven't seen, I highly recommend. It's not too long. It's probably a little bit longer than it needed to be, I think. And they throw in a little bit of unnecessary drama in there about the well, if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. It is good. There's some interesting actors come on, Kevin Smith and Jamie Kennedy and Doug Benson and some of those other guys were in it. And it was fun. It was a fun look at it, and it was actually informative. Prior to that, I had thought that Blockbuster had been taken down by Netflix myself, but in actual fact, that's not the case. And how it went down was in classic American fashion. They got greedy, they expanded too fast, they took on too much debt, and then they were poorly positioned in the 2008. After the 2008 stock crash, they just had, they didn't have any assets, and they had nothing to build money with. So, anyway, when that was done, it was like around 8:30. I was just feeling tired, so I was like, well, the wife didn't seem to want to hang out, so I figured, screw it, I'll just go to bed. I went to bed at 9 and wrote for a little bit. Talked about the one of the issues that's been going on with the Clomid. My libido has been a little bit harder to kickstart since I went on it. It's let me tell you, if you are under the age of 30 and you are watching this and you are considering going on testosterone replacement therapy, seriously consider whether or not you want kids, because if you do, my advice is to not go on it until after you've had children, because going on it and then coming off to have kids is a royal pain in the ass. It is not fun at all. You'll go through withdrawal from the testosterone, and your body will feel like shit, and your libido will tank, and a lot of things are going to be a lot suckier. And if you don't work out often, then you're going to be in even worse shape. It's going to be a nightmare for you. So, but yeah, one of the things that came up, sort of a withdrawal thing, was that marijuana popped its ugly little head back up again, its furry green little head, and was like, hey, you know what would help with libido? Smoking dope. And it probably would. It probably would. Having a pen or something around the house would be nice for when those instances arise. It would be good to get high, or it would be nice to get high and then have that to kind of carry you through the experience, the event. But as is the way with relapsing and with addict behavior, those little triggers of, oh, this is legitimate use, you could do this and it would be fine, they are traps that your brain sets you when you're trying to look for easy ways out of the problem that you're in. And one of the things that I've trained myself in being is trying to take the hard route with a lot of things, just out of principle that the hard route is usually the route that you end up learning most from. So with this, that's what I've decided to do, and it was an insidious return of ideas, is what I wrote in my journal, that I was having an insidious return of ideas courtesy of my green friend. So yeah, interesting that it can come back like that, and that you can have it come back, particularly when you're feeling vulnerable, or if things are causing some anxiety. You will revert back to things that bring comfort, and it shows that even 4 weeks out, I mean, tomorrow will be actually 5 weeks. So even 5 weeks out, you can still have those relapse thoughts, even for a drug as benign as marijuana. I can't say that I've thought about video games as a solution to that problem, because that's not the case. But boredom has been the common pitfall. For suggesting that video game use happens, it's been boredom that's been the thing that's brought me in with it. So I've tried my best to stay avoiding boredom. How that happens is not always clear. It's not always easy. A lot of the time it requires writing or reading, or I've actually started back on the television. I won't say that I've replaced video gaming with television in general, because television it's not as enjoyable to me as video gaming was, but it's nice to get some shows in that I've been putting, or that I had been putting off. But anyway, I guess the main theme for today is when you're vulnerable, your brain will try to find ways to bring the old comforts back, and that I've noticed that in particular today, or this morning. Anyway, that's it for me. Kaki Jack.